Javat, Rajmandal, Uttar Pradesh, India.
The ancient name of this village is Javat. It is situated 3 kilometers northeast of Nandagrama. The ancient name is derived from the word Java or Yavaka, which means the bright red pigment, called in English as vermilion or red lac. The word Vita means a banyan tree. In other words, this is the site under the shade of this famous banyan tree, where Krishna would secretly meet his beloved Radha and where he also applied Yavaka on the soles of Radha's lotus feet. It is also said that the gopis also used to decorate Radha's lotus feet with Yavaka under this same tree. This is the place where Srimati Radhika performed many confidential pastimes with the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, and it is not possible to describe all the pastimes that took place here. The word Javat was coined firstly because Sri Krishna would adorn his body with the lac or red paint, Javaka, from the nails of Srimati Radhika, and secondly, because of the presence of a large banyan tree, Vita, at this place. It is said that Srimati Radhika was married to Abhimanyu by the arrangement of her father, King Vrishabhanu, who built a nice palace for his daughter there in Javat. Abhimanyu's mother was Jatila and he had a sister Kutila. The whole family resided together in this village of Javat. Abhimanyu was the son of Vraja. It is mentioned that in a previous life, Abhimanyu performed severe austerities to please the Supreme Lord Vishnu. The Lord, being pleased, offered him a boon. Abhimanyu in turn had replied that he wanted the Lord's consort as a wife. For that reason in his present life he became of the neuter gender, but by strength of the boon still attained Srimatiji as a wife. Though Abhimanyu was always identifying himself as the legal husband of Srimati Radhika, however, by the arrangement of the internal energy he was not even able to associate with her, what to speak of touching her, solely because of her being the exclusive original pleasure potency of the Supreme Lord. In the Bhakti Ratnakara it says, O Srinivasa, see here the enchanting Yagrama known as Javat, where many pastimes were performed. This is the residence of Abhimanyu where Radharani enjoyed playing with her girlfriends. By the influence of Yogamaya, what to speak of touching Radharani herself, Abhimanyu is not even able to touch her shadow. He remains in the association of the cowherd men while Jatila and Kutila are always engaged in household work. The gopis cleverly bring Krishna here and their hearts became filled with joy as they witness the divine couple's pastimes. The meeting between Srimati Radhika and Sri Krishna were brought about by Yogamaya to nourish the rasa of Paramur love, because Radhika is the embodiment of Sri Krishna's pleasure-giving potency, Hladini Sakti, and the crown jewel of Krishna's eternal beloveds. Fire and its power to burn, or the sun and its light, are intrinsically one in nature and cannot be separated from each other. Similarly, Sri Krishna and his Parasakti Sri Radha are eternally non-different and inseparable from each other. They are one soul manifest in 2 forms solely to taste ras-vilas. Ravan could not so much as touch the original Sita. He was only able to kidnap her shadow. One can reconcile Abhimanyu and Srimati Radhika's relationship in the same way. How to get there? You can go by taxi, or if you want to use public transport then, at Aklakunji in Vrindavan you will find many autos to take you to Mathura bus stop. For shared auto they charge around 15 rupees per person to drop you at Mathura bus stop. From there buses are available to take you to Nantago and will cost around 47 rupees per person. Please note the buses are not in a very good condition, but we are expecting improvement in future as Uttar Pradesh government is working on improving the transport facility and also it is the most economical option. Then you can hire auto to go around Javat. In the center of the village, on top of a hillock, is a temple of Sri Radhikanta next to the original house of Jatila. Krishna regularly visited Yavata and expertly dressing himself in various costumes and disguises, would enter the house of Abhimanyu and enjoy transcendental pastimes with Radharani and her girlfriends. Sometimes Krishna would even disguise himself as Abhimanyu and after entering the house, inform Mother Jatila that the cunning Debashe named Krishna was planning to come there disguised as her son. As soon as the real Abhimanyu arrived at his home, he suddenly found himself being abused with foul words, beaten over the head with a stick, and driven away by his own mother, much to the satisfaction of all the Javis, who took great pleasure in seeing such amazing and incredible pastimes. Javat is also the birthplace of the 8 principal manjaris who are the most intimate young friends of Radharani, including Sri Rupa Manjari, Sri Manjalali Manjari, Sri Raja Manjari, Sri Radhi Manjari, Sri Guna Manjari, Sri Vilasa Manjari, Sri Labanga Manjari and Sri Kastri Manjari. These manjaris are differentiated from the Sakas, as they are all Kaumaris, or prepubescent young girls, and can therefore enter the Nikunja where Radha and Krishna are engaged in conjugal love and serve them unhindered, and without being aroused or agitated to enjoy personally with Krishna. In Navadvipa Leela these 8 principal manjaris appeared as Gosvamis. Sri Rupa Manjari appeared as Sri Rupa Gosvami, Sri Manjalali Manjari appeared as Sri Lokanata Gosvami, Sri Raja Manjari appeared as Sri Ranata Bhatta Gosvami, Sri Radhi Manjari appeared as Sri Ranata Dasa Gosvami, Sri Guna Manjari appeared as Sri Gopala Bhatta Gosvami, Sri Vilasa Manjari appeared as Sri Jiva Gosvami, Sri Labanga Manjari appeared as Sri Sanatana Gosvami and Sri Kastri Manjari appeared as Sri Krishna Dasa Kaviraja Gosvami. This is the place on a small hillock where the ancestral home of Jatila was situated and where, after marriage, Radharani lived here along with Abhimanyu, his mother Jatila and his sister Kutila. This place is now a temple where one can see the deities of Radha and Krishna known as Sri Sri Radha Kanta. In another shrine to the left of the deity room one can see the deities of Jatila, Kutila, and Abhimanyu. In the courtyard of the temple is a tree which locals call a moti or pearl tree. It is said that after Krishna had planted pearls in a garden near Moti Kund at Nandagrama, it was this particular tree grew there and became covered in pearls instead of fruits. One day Krishna felt very eager to see Radharani, because he had not seen her for quite a long period. He went to the village of Javat and was loitering outside the house of Jatila. At that time Jatila came out of the house and seeing Krishna, she called out to him, "Oh Kanyu! Why are you roaming here and there in the middle of the day? It is so hot now, and in this scorching heat your face has become red and dry. Please come here. Come close to me." At this time, Jatila did not know that Krishna had developed a loving relationship with her daughter-in-law, and thus she was openly affectionate towards Krishna. Krishna said to Jatila in a pitiful voice, "Oh my grandmother! What can I say to you about my sorrow? The calf of my most dear cow Davali has been lost, and now Davali is crying very pitifully, making hamba sounds. Thus I have given up my job of milking the cows and come in search of that calf. Because I have been wandering under the scorching sun I am feeling very thirsty. Due to intense thirst my tongue has dried up." Seeing the miserable condition of Kanyu, Jatila took him inside the house and told her daughter-in-law Radha to bring some cool water for Kanyu to drink. Because Jatila was present, Radharani pretended to feel very shy to be there. She pulled down her veil and turned her face away, covering it with her sari, but from a veil Radha was looking at Krishna. On the pretext of drinking water, Krishna was looking at Radharani and enjoying the moment very much. After Krishna had taken rest for some time, Jatila said, "O Kanai! What has happened today? Till now the god Abhara, person who milks the cow, has not come. The calves are shouting hamba due to the delay. You are milking cows every day. Kindly milk this cow." Then Jatila instructed Radharani to bring the pot for collecting milk and rope for binding the legs of the cow. Radharani brought the items and placed them in front of Krishna. Jatila then told Radharani to release the calf and allow her to suckle before milking the cow. Radharani did so and the calf ran to its mother, drinking noisily. Out of affection the cow started to lick the whole body of her calf. Then Krishna went near the cow with the milk pot for milking the cow. Krishna told Jatila, "Oh grandmother, please hold the calf so I can milk the cow." Jatila was an old lady and not able to see properly. She did not feel able to hold the calf away from its mother to let Krishna milk the cow. She called Radha and said, "My dear daughter Radha, why are you feeling shy? This Kana is your nephew, and you are his aunt. Why do you keep yourself away from your nephew? Please hold the calf strongly, otherwise it will drink all the milk." Being thus ordered by her mother-in-law, Radharani went close to Krishna without hesitation. She roped the calf and held it tight while Krishna started to milk the cow, and Jatila sat down nearby to watch the proceedings. While Krishna was milking the cow he was looking towards Radharani, paying little attention to the milking. As a result some of the milk was falling inside the milk pot and some was falling on the ground. Krishna was sitting behind the cow and so Jatila was not able to see him looking upon Radha. Moreover her eyes were defective, how could she see anything at all? In this way Krishna's purpose for coming to Jatila's place was fulfilled. Although so much milk fell on the ground due to Krishna's inattentiveness, still, due to being milked by the hands of Sri Krishna, the cow gave her milk freely, and at the end of milking the milk pot was full. Jatila was very happy to see that Krishna had milked so much from this cow. She told Radharani to give some of that fresh, warm milk to Krishna to drink. After drinking milk from the hand of Radharani, Krishna gazed upon at her face to his satisfaction, then took leave from Jatila. He went back to the herd to milk his cows along with his cowherd friends. This is the place where the famous banyan tree known as Yavakavita once stood and which is known locally as Kishori Vita. It was here where Krishna decorated Radharani's lotus feet with Yavaka or red lac. There is now a temple here where one can see the deities of Krishna Kishori. Radharani is known as Kishori and Krishna is known as Kishore, and these names refer to the divine lovers' Kishore Leela, or period of their amorous pastimes in youthhood. Although the famous banyan tree has disappeared one can still see Kishori Kunda and the Raja Mandala. Kishori is another name for Radharani and this Kunda was one of the places where she enjoyed pastimes with her Sakhis. It is said that Krishna would also enjoy water sports or Jalvayura pastimes with Radharani and the Gopis in this Kunda. Situated on the bank of the Kunda is the Sri Kishoriji Mandira. Next are the details of pastime places near Jatila's house, Jatila Kihevli, that are no longer visible. Dusham means disgracing or dishonoring. It was the month of Magha during Krishna Pakshiya. After finishing his daily activity like milking the cows, playing kabaddi, taking bath, and eating, Krishna went to Vrindavana to graze the cows along with his cowherd friends. After some time, Krishna left the cowherds and went for a walk in the forest with Matu Mandala. He was enjoying the beautiful flowers of Vasanta season, the king of all seasons. Krishna was very eager to meet with Radharani. When he saw the beauty of the trees with newly sprouted leaves and flowers of spring, Krishna started to play on his flute, standing in his threefold bending form under the Keeli Kadamba tree at the bank of the river Yamuna, calling the name of Radha. When Radharani heard the sweet sound of Vansi, she was very eager to meet with Krishna. She had cooked varieties of sweets and cakes for Krishna and had prepared kandana and flower garlands for Krishna. Her Sakhis dressed her very nicely and decorated her with varieties of ornaments. Then, like every other day, on the pretext of performing Surya Puja and Makara Snana, she left Javat with a desire to meet with Sri Krishna. By the order of Purnamasi, Vrindadevi had prepared a flower bed inside the Vamsivata Kunja, a grove near the banyan tree under which Lord Sri Krishna played on his flute to attract the gopas for the Rasa dance on the bank of river Yamuna. Krishna saw Vrindadevi and told her, "Oh, Vrind! The beauty of Vasanta, the king of all seasons, and the beauty of the forest and flowers are increasing my eagerness to meet with Radharani. Please arrange my meeting with her. I have called her by playing my Vansi. I hope she will come here soon." Vrindadevi said, "Whatever you have ordered I will do immediately. I will bring Radha very soon. Please come inside the Kunja and wait." After some time Radharani arrived with Lalita and the other Sakhis. Krishna was very happy to see Sri Radha. Lalita and Visakha arranged Radharani to sit on the left side of Krishna on the flower bed. Then they smeared kandanan on their bodies and decorated them with flower garlands. Lalita offered arati, while the other Sakhis sang and clapped their hands. After offering a ghee lamp they fanned both Sri Krishna and Radharani with a cloud-white kamara. Then with auspicious saludvani, all the Sakhis offered Puspanjali to Kaisara and Kaisari. While Radharani and Sri Krishna were thus enjoying their blissful pastimes, Kutila approached the Kunja. Kutila was always eager to find some fault with Radharani. She approached very quietly and looked through a hole in the Kunja. There she saw Radharani and Sri Krishna sitting together on the flower bed. Previously Kutila had informed her brother Abhimanyu, the so-called husband of Radharani, that Radharani and Sri Krishna always met with each other in the Kunja, but he never believed her. Kutila thought, "Today I must bring my brother here and show him. When he personally sees this then he will believe it." Kutila hurried to the cow pastures where she met Abhimanyu and told him, "I have told you so many times that Radha meets with Krishna in the forest, but you never believed me. Now please come with me and see yourself how they are sitting inside a secluded kunja on a flower bed. Then you will believe it." Abhimanyu said, "If what you are saying is true, if you can show it to me, then I will arrange proper punishment for Krishna. And never again will I let Radha go out of the house for Surya Puja." Then Kutila and Abhimanyu, with a stick in his hand, went towards the kunja. Abhimanyu was very angry. Vrindadevi was guarding the kunja. When she saw that Kutila and Abhimanyu were approaching the kunja shouting and screaming, immediately she informed Radharani. When Radharani heard that Kutila and Abhimanyu were there, she became very frightened. She told Krishna, "O Prananada! Just see both Kutila and my husband Abhimanyu are coming towards this kunja. If my husband sees us together then he will become very angry and kick me out of the house. He is coming towards here like Yamaraja, ready to kill me. Where can I go now? I am going to leave my body now, meditating on your lotus feet. Please save me from this danger. I take shelter at your lotus feet." Krishna pacified Radharani and said, Do not be worried. Have you ever heard that anyone has died untimely by meditating on the feet of Krishna? Your husband is a devotee of Kali. Now I will accept the form of Kali. You pretend to worship me and sit next to my feet." Both Sri Krishna and Radharani, along with her associates, acted according to Krishna's plan. At this time Abhimanyu arrived at the Kunja in an angry mood, asking Kutila, "Where is that most fallen son of Nanda? Where is that Kulankini Radha? Show me them immediately. Today I shall give them proper punishment." Krishna transformed himself into the four-armed form of Samakali, holding different weapons in his hands, Java flower garlands on his neck, and sindoor on his forehead. Wearing blood-red cloth, his flute hidden in his cloth, he showed his long tongue, just like Kali. Sitting at his lotus feet, Radharani was pretending to offer Kali puja, holding some flowers in her hand. At this time, Abhimanyu entered the Kunja in an angry state. Forced his way in, but he did not find Krishna. Instead, he saw his worshipping Kali with focused attention. When Abhimanyu saw his worshipable Kali Devi face to face, immediately he offered his prayers and obeisances. After offering his humble obeisances at the feet of Krishna, Abhimanyu stood in front of him with folded hands. Then looking towards his sister Kutila in a very angry mood, he said, "Kutila, where is Krishna? All I see here is Radha so devotionally serving the lotus feet of Mother Bhagavati, which are remembered even by Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. My most chaste wife is offering flowers at Devi's lotus feet. You are calling such a chaste lady like my wife a woman of no character? All blame to you. Today I will excuse you, but if you ever falsely give a bad name to my good wife Radha, then I will punish you and throw you out of the house." When Kutila was chastised by her brother like this, she felt great shame and lowered her head. On the pretext of having lost his calf, Subala Sakha deceived Jatila and sent Srimati Radhika, disguised as him, to meet with Krishna. Even today, this cowshed of Abhimanyu is known by the name Vatsakara. Subala is the younger brother of Kandravali, and the son of Kandrabhinyu. His face is the same as Srimati Radharani's. One day in Kakulavana, which is situated north of the village of Javat, Krishna called Radharani's name by playing on his flute. This sound had a special quality that no one except Radharani could hear. When Radharani heard Krishna calling her thus, immediately she became very enthusiastic to go to Kakulavana to meet with Krishna. Unfortunately, her mother-in-law, Jatila, was sitting at the door of the house. Radharani could not leave the house, and thus she felt deprived of Krishna's association. Krishna was waiting along with Subala at a kunja in Kutila. He was extremely eager to see Radharani, and from time to time he would leave the kunja and look in all directions to see if Radharani was approaching. Returning to the kunja, he would wait for some time, then again he would leave the kunja and look for Radha. So much time passed, and still Sri Radha did not arrive. When Krishna saw there was no hope for Radharani to come to him, he became very impatient and loudly said, "Ha, Rad! Ha, Rad!" and fainted to the ground. Subala held Krishna in his lap and, wiping tears from Krishna's eyes, tried to pacify him. Subala said, "My dear friend, my heart is breaking to see you in this condition. Please tell me, how can I help you? What should I do now?" Krishna embraced Subala and caught hold of his hand. He told Subala, "My dear friend Subala, if you have really understood my sorrowful situation, then you should go immediately to the house of Jatila and somehow or other bring Radharani here to meet me. I cannot survive without meeting with Radharani. I will wait here eagerly until you come back with Radharani." When Subala heard these words from his dear friend Krishna, he said to him, "As per your instruction, now I am going to Javat. I will try my best to bring Radharani here to meet with you. But you must wait here with patience until I return. Please do not faint again. Now, let me go." As Subala was preparing to move, Krishna embraced him strongly and said, "Dear Subala, please go. Bring my most dear Radharani as soon as possible and save my life." Subala hurried towards Javat and the house of Jatila. When he arrived, he was loitering outside the house of Jatila, looking here and there. Seeing Subala, Jatila called to him, "Oh Subala! Why are you around here today?" Subala offered his humble obeisances to Jatila and said, "My dear grandmother, I have lost one of my calves, and her mother is crying for her. I asked so many people if they had seen her, and one person told me they had a calf wandering on this side of Vraja, near your house." Jatila felt very compassionate towards Subala, and prompted by Yagamaya, she said, "Yes. It is so. But Subala, your face is so red from wandering in this heat. Please go into the cool house, there you will see the assistant of my daughter-in-law. She will give you water, and you please rest for a while. Then after some time you can go searching for your calf." Subala was very happy to hear this from Jatila and immediately entered the house. He went straight to Sri Radha's rooms and found her sitting on the floor with her head in her hands, crying. Lalita and the other Sakhas were pacifying her. When Srimati Radharani saw him, she said, "Oh Subala! From where have you come? Have you seen Lord of my life?" Subala said, "Krishna and I have been waiting in Kokulavana for you. Since you did not arrive, my friend Krishna became very worried for you. In separation from you he is crying while uttering ha, Rad, and fainting again and again. Why did you not go to meet with Krishna? He has sent me here to bring you to him. He is waiting eagerly for you. Come." Radharani said, "Subala, just see how my mother-in-law Jatila is there at the door with a stick in her hand. In this situation, how can I go out of the house and disobey my seniors? Although my mother-in-law is not able to see perfectly and I could very easily escape her, still my sister-in-law Kutila is very tough with me. She is crooked by nature and always eagerly waiting to find some fault with me." Radharani looked at Subala with tears in her eyes. "My Lord Krishna must be waiting in Kokulavana and suffering in separation from me. I know it very well. But what can I do? I am helpless. I cannot go out of my house to help my lord, who is lying in a faint on the ground. You cannot understand how painful it is for me to hear from you that my lord is suffering in this way. Please go back to the forest immediately and pacify him by explaining the reasons I have not been able to meet with him. Go quickly. Do not delay here for a moment." Subala replied, "Rad, if I go back to Krishna without taking you with me, then Krishna will only suffer more and he will leave his body in separation from you. That is what he told me when I left him in the forest. In order to extinguish the fire of separation that burns within both of you, I have made a plan. Please listen carefully." Subala lowered his voice and spoke quietly to Srimati Radharani, "I will dress you in my clothes. You will go out of the house right in front of Jatila and still she won't recognize you. Then your Sakhas will decorate me with your dress, and I will stay here in the house." Radharani clapped her hands in delight and said, "Subala, thank you so much for your nice idea. I am very happy to hear this." Her brow wrinkled as she thought, and she added, "But there is a problem with this. I can wear your clothes, but my hair is so long and my breasts are raised high. How can I hide this? Please give me some idea. If Jatila recognizes me when I pass by her, then I will be in great danger. She will never allow me out of the house again and I will never be able to meet with my Krishna." Subala answered, "Dear Radhika, do not be worried about this. I have already thought of a solution to your two problems. Please listen carefully. First, your Sakhas will pile your hair on top of your head and cover it with my turban. Second, when I was coming to your house, Jatila saw me and asked me why have I come here. I told her that I was looking for my calf that had wandered from the herd. So, I will give you one small calf. You hold it to your chest, thus disguising yourself further. Do not be worried that your mother-in-law will recognize you. I will dress you so perfectly that no one will recognize you as Radha, they will think you are Subala." When Radharani heard this plan from Subala, she was in ecstasy. When the plan was finalized, Lalita dressed Subala in the blue sari of Radharani and adorned his body with her ornaments. She put vermilion on his forehead, black kajal around his eyes, and a lata on his feet. Behind Subala's head she put some artificial hair. She dressed him in a blue blouse and stuffed it with cloth to create artificial breasts. She put bunches of bangles on both his arms. When the Sakis saw Subala, whose features were identical to Srimati Radharani's, they all started to laugh and clap their hands in delight. Then Lalita took the cloth of Subala and dressed Radharani. Then Subala piled Radharani's hair on top of her head and covered it with his turban. Radhika wiped the sindura from her forehead, the kajal from her eyes, and the alata from her feet. Because Subala was the brother of Kandravali, his appearance and color was just like Radharani's. Now Radha was looking just like Subala. He gave Radha one small calf to hold, covering her breasts. Then, remembering the lotus feet of Krishna, Srimati Radharani slowly walked out of the house and through the main gate, right past Jatila. When Jatila saw Radharani she thought, "Ah, Subala is going back," and called out to him, "Oh Subala! Did you drink water? Did you find your calf?" When Radharani heard this, she simply replied, and left the place. Then she proceeded towards Kokulavana in order to meet with Sri Krishna, the Lord of her life. In Kokulavana Krishna was eagerly waiting for Subala to return with Radharani. But suddenly Krishna saw Subala walking alone, without Radharani. Krishna thought, "I sent Subala to bring my most dear Radharani with him, but he has returned unsuccessful. What has happened? Maybe her mother-in-law did not allow her to come out of the house? Maybe she is not able to come out due to some engagement or household activities. Maybe she has come across some other great obstacle?" Thus imagining different reasons for Radharani's non-appearance, Krishna became very worried. Thinking all these things, he started towards Subala, eager to understand why Srimati Radhika was not coming. Radharani, in the disguise of Subala, was looking at Krishna and floating in an ocean of ecstasy at the sight of him. But she did not reveal her own identity, eager to see Krishna's own eagerness for her. As she came close to Krishna, he said, "Oh Subala, you have come alone. Where is my Radharani, who is more dear to me than my life? Where have you hidden her? Why are you giving me more pain by not revealing where she is? What kind of enjoyment are you deriving by giving me so much pain? If you have hidden her somewhere, then kindly bring her here and save my life." While Krishna was speaking this way, Radharani came very close to him and, in the voice of Subala, she said to Krishna, "My friend, as you ordered, I went to Jatila's house on the pretext of searching for my lost calf. I saw Jatila, the old lady was sitting at the gate holding a stick in her hand. I went inside the house with her permission, and there I saw their Radharani crying, her head hanging down in misery. She was crying in separation from you, unable to leave the house. All the Sakis including Lalita were counseling her. When Radharani saw me, she asked me where I had come from and whether I had seen you. I explained how you are suffering in separation from her. I told her that because she had not gone to the forest that day, that you had sent me to take her with me. Then she replied, "My mother-in-law is sitting at the doorstep. I will not be able to go out of the house." Then I came back without any success to inform you of these things. When Krishna heard this hopeless news from Subala, he said, "Oh Subala, you know all kinds of tricks. Whenever I send you to bring Radharani, you always manage to bring her to me. Never before have you failed. Why have you not succeeded this time? I cannot survive in this world without her. When I sent you to bring Radharani, I told you that if I leave my body from the pain of separation, then please give her my peacock feather, flute, and Ganjamala." Then Krishna started to cry loudly, uttering the name of Radharani, "Oh Rad! Oh Rad! Oh my most dear Rad!" When Radharani saw Krishna's desperation, she could not control herself any longer. She put the calf on the ground and removed the turban from her head. Immediately her hair fell loose and hung down her back. When Krishna saw that Subala was actually his beloved Sri Radha, he embraced her with affection and took her inside the kunja. After their loving exchanges, Radharani left for her house. By that time Subala, who was still in the dress of Radharani, had come out of the house along with the Sakhas on the pretext of going to the Yamuna to fetch the water. Srimati Radharani met her Sakhas and Subala at the Yamuna and changed out of Subala's clothes and into her own. Subala then went back to Krishna in the forest and Radharani went back to her house, holding the water pot in her arms and accompanied by her Sakhas. Viraya is situated near the cowshed. The place called Viraya is where Krishna in separation waited under a bir tree in the courtyard of Radharani's house. To attract the attention of Srimatiji, he climbed a branch and imitated the sound of a black cuckoo. However, when Srimati descended and tried to open the door, the loud sound of her walking and ankle bells attracted the attention of Jatila, who queried in a loud voice, "Who is there?" Again and again whenever Krishna tried to enter the house, he was prevented by the sharp voice of Jatila. Thus he spent the entire night under this bir tree. Narada Kund, where Narada Muni performed various austerities to obtain the mercy of Srimati Radhika. It is said that even now, if anyone conducts prayers at this place, it may be possible for one to attain a vision of Srimati Radhika. Near Narada Kund is the place where Durvasa Muni blessed Srimatiji, being pleased with her services, so much so, that whatever she cooked would taste like heavenly ambrosia. In the palace of King Abhimanyu, Radharani passed her childhood playing with her Sakhas. Wherever in the place they played, Radha would always place a small deity of Krishna in the corner and decorate him with flowers. Radha and her Sakhas would often play at cooking food for Krishna. Once on Dvadasi Tithi, when the gopis were all absorbed in their play, Durvasa Muni arrived at the palace. All the Sakhas ran away when they saw Durvasa Muni, but Radharani remained. Durvasa Muni was very pleased to see the incomparable beauty of Radharani. He said, "My dear child, today you must feed me sweet rice prepared with your own hands." When Radharani heard the desire of Durvasa Muni, immediately she ran to her mother to collect the ingredients: nicely scented rice, milk, sugar, tejapada, resin, ilachi, camphor, and other things. Within a very short time Radharani had prepared delicious sweet rice, which she served to Durvasa Muni. He found the smell very tempting, and when he tasted the inconceivably nectarian rice he was convinced that Radharani was Golokesvari Mahalaxmi. No one else could have made such a wondrous preparation that defeated the taste of nectar and caused him to experience ecstasy. Being very pleased with Srimati Radharani's service and out of affection for her, he said, "I am offering you a boon that whatever your hands touch, whatever you prepare, will taste like nectar. Whoever tastes this food cooked by you will have long life, strength, beauty, and fame, all of which will increase day by day." When Mother Yasoda learned of Durvasa Muni's boon upon Radharani, she requested Kutila, and later Jatila, to bring Radharani to her house to cook for Sri Krishna, so he might acquire all these blessings by tasting the food cooked by the nectarian hands of Srimati Radharani. Thus the boon was very beneficial for Radharani as she was able to serve Krishna, and on the plea of Mother Yasoda, she would have so many chances to see and meet with Krishna. Below are the details of my other videos. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Sri Gauranga.